Mountain Fan Fest. How many of y'all here for the first time? Okay, cool. How many of y'all came yesterday? Okay. Well, welcome. Glad you came here. How many of y'all on social media?
Woo!
That's good. All y'all pick out your phones, pull out your phones right now, and make sure you can follow me. Y'all ready? Who wants to ask some questions?
We go! And people are shy. And like, you have to pull questions out of them. But clearly, we have a Halloween Town group here.
So I got to keep a copy of the book that Grandma Aggie read to us. So that was a project from the first movie.
No!
I mean, we didn't all get one. How did you got one? Okay, yeah, we got one. It was a kid gift or something.
Yeah, it was. I'm okay. I can do that.
There was
They made
some really great clothes for Halloween Town High for the fictional high school that we went to. And after we were done filming, I went through wardrobe and I took a couple things home. They were pretty cool. I put a lot of work into it.
I have the mask that I wore in the second film. It's still somewhat intact, and it did many really good Halloweens at my house with the kids. I have the teeth that I had, which are dental grade, amazing, and oh god, they're precious. I love those. And I have a pair of Luke's ears. I don't know how good they're doing right now. And I have some hands, and I don't know whose hands they were. That's what it is.
I don't even match.
I think it was I'm trying to remember, maybe it was the third one. No, maybe it was the second one. And you go into where they had special effects. And it was the end. And it was like, what you got? What you got? Because after the first one, when I didn't get the book, I realized I'm on my own. And so I got that. And then I think that's it. I wonder what Kimberly got.
Well, I also got a book. Just to start there. And let's see, I have the Calabar's assistant from the first one, the bat that pops up out of his little grave. Somebody here to see you, boss. Disney gave me that, which is, he's still surviving in his coffin. I have him sealed very nicely. And I have Marnie's cloak and hat from the second movie. Debbie was instrumental, very sweet, and kind of nudging the producer, being like, why don't you let her take that home? Because they had made it for me. So, but yeah, I still have that. I still have Marnie's broom from the second one that she carried around in her pocket. It wasn't the hero one, like they call it, that was on camera for the movie, but it was the stand-in one. So, yeah, I took that home too.
Well, I love the jacket that my character wore, so I tried really hard to get the jacket. Asked one producer, like, I can't have it. I'm like, I'm gonna go ask the other one. Well, Mom didn't say this, and that's how I'm gonna go here. So I asked everybody of importance, hey, can I have this jacket? Everybody said no, so I was like, fine, I'll just take Marnie.
Got a question for you.
Flying scene on the last day of filming, and it was basically Debbie and I on a big tall stool with a broom stuck to it in front of a big blue screen, and we got to spend in the later movies, Marnie and Aggie spent a lot of one-on-one time together, but that was just a really special memory for me, and yeah, that's always the one that sticks out the most, probably.
I know that when we were doing the end scene where we were in the big, it was like an airplane hangar or something, wasn't it? Where it was a big party. We filmed until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning or something. And it was really late. We'd been filming for a while, and there was 50, 100 extras or something. And everybody was tired because we'd been filming all day and everything, and they needed to bring the energy up. And Debbie was 68 at the time. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna get this crowd going. So she went out in the middle of the crowd, started dancing and singing and cracking jokes, and everybody got all excited, and then we were all up, and then we finished the scene. And it's like she could see, she was like, we need energy here. And her being 68, she was like a little kid out there just dancing and doing her thing. It was amazing. Love it.
I have to say, yeah, I'm with Kim. Like, there's so many stories. So Debbie Reynolds had one of the largest memorabilia collections of Hollywood props of anyone ever, and it was her ambition to get it all into a museum. And at the time, she had a Las Vegas casino and hotel. And so we were gonna rehearse. We were doing a scene together, and she said, I'll meet you in the trailer. Just go in. And so I went in, and I was waiting for her, and I was really excited because it's like our first time alone together. And she waltzes into the trailer, and she says, well, my hotel and casino is on the auction block. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I can come back. And she went, my life is just a series of fascinating disasters. Let's rehearse. And I was like, okay. And she was that. She was resilient, and she was gutsy, and she was a broad in the best sense, and she had the best potty mouth. She could also kind of be a church lady. And she was a phenomenon and an icon, and I know that I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody, and they can all speak for themselves, but it was such a pleasure and a privilege to get to spend time with her.
So I had talked to Debbie about making another movie. There was a movie I was wanting to direct at the time, and I went up to her very nervously and just was pretty direct and said, hey Debbie, I'm wanting to direct a movie. I would like to work with you again. How do you feel about that? And she said, send me the script. I read everything. Everything everyone sends me, I read. And she gave me her home number to follow up. So one day, I called Debbie Reynolds at home. I picked up the phone, I called her, she answered. And I said, Debbie, hi, this is J. Paul Zimmerman from Halloween Town. And there was a long pause. And she goes, well, that's a strange phone call. Not J. Paul Zimmerman from Boston, not J. Paul Zimmerman from New York, but J. Paul Zimmerman from Halloween Town. And we chatted about the movie. I never got to make the movie, unfortunately, but that's the sad part. But we chatted for quite a while on the phone about it, and she was really looking forward to the idea, and so was I. I'm just sorry we didn't get to do that. But that was really special that she gave it that consideration. I really appreciate it.
My favorite memory was the day that we were shooting the scene that I had to say the spell to light the pumpkin. She invited me into her trailer to practice the spell with her, and it was just so special to me, like being 7 years old, looking up to her. It was my first time on a movie set, and she saw that, I maybe needed a little bit of help with memorizing that hard line to say, so she took the time to let me, allow me into her trailer just with her and help me practice, so I always remember that.
Kind of get to know each other, because you get thrown into a movie and like your family, but we've never met before.
And we actually got to film the beginning. You usually don't film the scenes in order when you film a movie. movie, and we actually got to film the beginning of the first Halloween Town
In
first.
order.
Yeah,
Yes.
in order. So it was really nice.
But when Debbie came in the very first day, and she sweeps into the kitchen and says, "Hello, everyone. I'm Princess Leia's mother." And I was like, "Smack that! You're Debbie!" But she saw herself that way. I mean, she was so. I know we've all heard Carrie's stories and stuff, but she was such a team player, and she was definitely somebody who, was like, oh, yeah, whatever, with her own celebrity, and it was really thrilling. And so for us to just sit around the table and play with each other, and then in between takes, you have all this downtime, and so we would just talk to each other, and I get to know the kids, and they were just, it was magical. It was really good.
Every scene that I was able to do, I loved. I had such a fun experience. But I remember one in particular where Cal is opening the portal. And people don't know he's the bad guy yet. He's opening the portal. And in the script, it just says, Cal does portal to open it, or Cal does spell to open portal. I'm like, great, they're going to give me a spell. They're going to give me a spell. Didn't even think about it. I'm in my trailer, and the guy knocks on the door. He's like, hey, we're going to do the scene in about 5 minutes. You got the spell? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna So, luckily, I remember when I was in high school, I was in choir, and we did this German song. So basically, I said part of the German song in the spell. So I'm standing there, and the wind is blowing. I'm like, Vegas Rugen, Jammerton, That's what they used, and that was the song. And I was like, thank God for choir. Thank choir.
Again, so many amazing memories. I think, though, the first one definitely does hold a special place in my heart because we as kids, too, were like discovering Halloween Town really as we walked through it for the first time, too. Like, so it was equally as magical, I feel like, for us, if I can speak for you, that, it's like for us as actors and people as much as the characters. But I do remember the day we filmed the scene in Aggie's house where the three of us show up and surprise her. And that was just such a fun, special day because it was us getting to spend time with her, both as our characters and as people, but like really we got to start to lean into the magic a little bit and like do all the spell stuff over the cauldron, and it just was like, ooh, like we really are, witches now. And it was such a special memory. And I also remember that we, Debbie, I think one of her bloopers that day, she kept calling us Cromwell clowns instead of the Cromwell clan. And it just cracked us up. Like we were just giggling because we just thought it was so funny, but that one sticks out for me a lot. I was gonna say, I still have a fondness for, how about Arbor Day? Trees are important to you. The way that he played that opening scene and all of that, we had so much fun, like really leaning into our brother-sister relationship. I mean, it was an instant. Yes. And we would have so much fun, like running over the lines of like scenes we knew were coming up, and we had to, argue with each other and stuff like that. But I loved the way that you played all of that. So like, it's perfect contradiction to Marnie and Sophie's like, yes, we're witches, and he's like, Arbor Day's great.
I would honestly, thank you. And I would have to say my favorite is probably the other side of that. It's probably Halloween is Cool, Nature Boy. That was just a really fun part to film.
Mine is being normal. Being normal is vastly overrated. yeah, great one. Killed it. Yep.
I like when Marnie finally realizes that Cal is not a good guy. She just goes, Cal? And then all of a sudden she's like, you're Cal, our son. Like, Cal? What? And
That's totally long enough. Honestly.
Wait a second. And I'm like, yeah, that's right.
That was a fun scene to film.
I gotta go with Judith's one with the grammar. He says, so I actually say it too, but I might not qualify as an answer. But I say, grab grandma says being normal is vastly overrated. So it's both of our lines.
It qualifies.
When you work on set for the day, they usually print out your script really small, the scenes that you do in small piece of paper so you can carry them around with you. And Debbie couldn't see the lines typed that small. I promise it's going somewhere. And so she would write out her lines on a yellow legal pad in big Sharpie marker, big, like 3-inch, 4-inch letters. So the day that we had to do, or when we were first starting to learn the whole Petit-Ma spell, she so kindly had written that out for us, like phonetically, on her legal pad, and brought it in so we could like see it. And they had given us some cassettes, but like I so appreciated her, that was again the type of person and performer she was, that she was a team player. But that one, I think for that reason too, when it was the first like big significant spell we all did, that one is probably my favorite.
That one's my favorite too.
And I feel like you still know it.
Yes, you do.
You still know all the time. Petit-Ma, Petit-Fear, Petit-Gain, Cleave, Freedom, and Know It, Big.
I don't know how to log into my email, but I can say that. Every day. That's my life.
Clever girl.
Well, I would say mine obviously is biggest proven. I'm fight.
I didn't do a lot of spells.
No, believe, Dylan, believe.
I don't know if there was a spell associated with it, like a verbal spell, but the whole speed reading sequence in Return to Halloween Town was really fun because it was the first time that Dylan really like purposefully and enthusiastically was using magic, and that was fun for me.
Cool nerd.
Like 20 years later, so it was just a huge deal to see that people were still celebrating the movie, coming to the town where it was filmed, and just like telling all their stories about how Halloween Town impacted them. So, I mean, growing up, I had people tell me, oh, we know you from Halloween Town, we watched Halloween Town, but it didn't really fully hit me until going back to where it was filmed.
I think for me, I was in Soweto, South Africa. And I was in a little restaurant, and this young girl came up to me and said, "Oh, you're the mother from Halloween Town!" And I was like, I'm on the other side of the world. And random, like, what, and she was so excited. And I think it was not necessarily the popularity, which I think doing Comic-Cons is really, and it's grown. It just seems to, the universe of Halloween Town just keeps expanding instead of contracting. But it was, I didn't truly appreciate the global reach of this film. Because that's on the other side of the world. It takes you 24 hours to get there. And so that was cool.
It's been really such an honor to watch it grow over the years. I mean, when we did the first Halloween Town, it was only like the second or third ever Disney Channel original movie. And Disney Channel wasn't even in every household yet in the United States. Because we did an event, I think it was after I did Quince, maybe closer to 2000 or something, where they flew a bunch of us to New York and had this big celebration in Times Square because New York had just gotten Disney Channel and Time Warner. So it's been so amazing to watch. We were just supposed to do one movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, people ask us a lot, like the Halloween Town was the movie, and you guys have shown it so much love over the years. When it came out, it did really well, but it's just also been such an honor to watch it grow over the years, and you guys embraced it and loved on it so much that we got to do more movies. And over the years, people coming up to me on the street going, say it, and it would take me a second, and then they wanted to hear, Halloween is cool. And that was when I kind of started going, oh, more people are watching this. And certainly with social media and seeing the memes that you guys have made over the years is hilarious. And also to going to St. Helens the first time I went out there, they said over 15,000 people came, and it was incredible. And it was like, wow, so this is, wow, a lot of people have been watching this. It continues, I think it just continues to almost like surprise us at the continual love and everything that we felt over the years. So I just want to take this opportunity and say thank you to all of you, because we would not be up here without you guys. Thank you.
We've got time for 2 more questions. We got one here.
So, Kimberly, I see that you did some voice acting last year for Disney. How did that feel going back to Disney after so many years?
Oh, it was a blast. Yeah, I did an episode of an animated show called The Ghost of Molly McGee. Which is... Is the ghost here? It's now, I think the whole series is now on Disney Plus. But no, they were nice enough to call me and ask me if I wanted to do that episode. And some of the stuff in the show they said is kind of inspired by aspects of Halloween Town. So I was so honored that they asked me. It was so fun to do that kind of character and be in that world again, and you know, obviously have a little spooky flair on it.
Hello, out of all the movies, I was just wondering, since it's been a while and you've gone to several conventions, what was the most weirdest or interesting thing that you've had signed? Like you signed for someone, whether it be creative or just like something strange you wouldn't have thought that someone would want you to autograph.
Okay. So, this young woman came up to me in a little short skirt with fishnet stockings. And she ripped open her stockings and said, "Would you sign my leg?" Right around the knee. And then I signed, and she said, "I'll be back in 3 hours." And she got a tattoo. It was not my best signature. It's permanent. Give me a heads up. We'll find a place that's not your knee, because that hurts with a tattoo. And it's permanent. But she was happy. Bless her heart. That the same girl who's like, you signed for a tattoo?
Oh, okay. Yeah, a girl come up to us at one of the cons and her shorts were about this long. And she was like, "Can you sign right here?" She had some other stuff. She goes, "Can you sign right here? I'm going to get a tattoo at the tattoo place." And I was like, "Of my signature?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she was confident. Like, she was like, "Oh yeah, I planned this a long time ago. This is no big deal." But it put the pressure on. I'm like, "Well, I got to do a really good signature. Because if I don't, that's on that girl's leg forever." So I felt like it took me 10 minutes. You good? She's like, "Yeah, can you just hurry up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying here. I spelled my name again." And then she came back, and there it was, right there. She got the tattoo.
How'd you feel about that, Kimberly?
Hey, I am all for the enthusiasm.
And sure that Daniel won.
Exactly.
I have done a couple of those myself, and in fact, I saw a lovely fan who came yesterday, who I've seen before, who had an awesome Halloween Town pumpkin on her forearm, and Trappa was written there, and she was like, "Yeah, that's your handwriting." And I was like, oh, cool. I'm glad I wrote legibly. I'm so honored, but yeah, I think perhaps a tattoo of something you've written that's permanent on someone's skin is probably the most unique thing that we've been brought. Yeah.
So what did you guys get tattoos on?
I have not tattooed on anyone, and I haven't signed any legs either. I mostly just see really cool props and like things that people have like handcrafted or 3D printed. And I'm always impressed with the stuff they come up with and how real it looks to the actual props. I think my favorite was probably the skull headphones from Halloween Town 2. Some people have brought those in for me to sign, and those are really cool. What about you?
Honestly, the same thing. I haven't done any tattoos, but there have been you guys make some really cool custom-made creations for us to sign, and I'm always impressed by by the amount of work you put into it. So thank you for that.
If you have a burning question and you didn't get an answer, come on over. We're happy to answer it for you.
It is worth the wait, y'all. Again,